There is no rest for kings. As Durthert dies in some distant hold far from home, disavowed by his former subjects, Partia receives the news with some sorrow. They were rivals, yes, and many lives were lost due to the conflict between them, not one born out of personal vendetta, but out of the desire to do right by their subjects. At the request of Unkid, Partia had first fought Durthert and made himself known. At the behest of his Valandian subjects, he fought to defend their homes, regardless of their former allegiances, and the call to war from his Valandian vassals themselves is what ultimately drove Durthert off. And now he lies dead, buried beneath the soil at the foot of some great mountain to the north. Closer to home, Misui has fallen, a former friend turned rival. She had terrorized the Ashkasi homeland not too long ago, and yet Partia could not help but think upon the time they had shared together as friends. Before the Khan Monchug had set his eyes upon Aserai lands, and before the powers that be set the two on this course. Could Partia have done things differently? Should he have denied his sultan? Should he have denied his vassals? Should he have denied his subjects? Should he, perhaps, have denied Aserai? Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to the chapter of the Adventures of Partia al-Eat in Bannerlord. There is no time to ponder upon what could have been. The council goes back and forth about the war on hand. Some say it is time to stop. Others say the Khuzait will take advantage of any reprieve given to them to come back and strike again, stronger than ever before. Some are concerned that the Battanians have become the new threat. As he hears their thoughts and reads reports on the movements of his enemies and his vassals, Partia remains resolute. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bannerlord. This is going to be yet another interesting session as we continue to contend with these circumstances in this war against the Khuzait. Last session, we saw Phykeon come under siege, though it does seem as though Erinix is marching in order to defend that glorious city that he won. Hopefully, he'll be able to make it there in time, because I have decided that I'm going to put my faith in him. He's done quite well. He's done quite well so far, not just capturing Phykeon, but Sestadame Castle as well. Erinix's army has performed exceedingly well, and so I suppose it would be in character to put faith in him, that he will be able to ride up to Phykeon and protect it, so that we might instead go down south to Vostrom and take it instead. I received a variety of opinions with regards to how to move forward. I've taken it all into consideration, and I do think that there is a bit of consensus, at least, with regards to taking Vostrom and Morenya Castle, though some have suggested we should go ahead and defend Phykeon ourselves first. I feel like maybe there's a bit of an opportunity over here for Erinix to further prove himself, and if he manages to do so, we need to make sure that his clan is properly rewarded. Veros, already in charge of Ostakan and Rovalt. They'll definitely deserve a bit more, should their names come up, of course. It's not entirely in our hands, but these actions will not be quickly forgotten. Beyond that, there is a little bit more management I want to do for my clan and stuff as well. Hopefully we'll get to that at some point today. I definitely want to send out the couple of stewards, the new stewards that we've acquired. But I do still think I want to try and get Vostrom and Morenya Castle first, and once we do that, we'll send them out with a handful of troops, and they can recruit, and we'll further strengthen our overall position, our overall army. I do also, yes, again, just referring to some of the comments and suggestions that were mentioned in the previous episode's comments, I do also want to seriously consider reducing the strength of our own army. I want to see what the garrison is like at these two places we're hoping to attack, and then I feel like if we're able to take those holdings on without needing, you know, over 1,000 soldiers, we'll let a couple of these guys go free so that they'll hopefully form up their own army, and we'll have 3 armies roaming as opposed to just the 2 we have right now. I want to mention as well, by the way, with regards to the comments, I was very happy to see so many of you enjoy the introduction to the previous episode. I just want to let everybody know that it was actually the work of multiple authors. I saw many comments 2 episodes ago as a way to say farewell to Arwa, and I love the different kind of angles and perspectives and tones they all had. So I tried to sort of pull it all together and make it one cohesive introduction, pulled from, I think it was 3 or 4 separate introductions. So again, a massive thanks to all of y'all for, you know, participating in that way. It's really cool to see these interpretations and these stories, and it's always interesting to have that further influence our story as well. And it's just great to see so many of y'all enjoying those little introductions as well. It's always cool to see. But I just wanted to make sure everybody knew the source of that sort of intro, that story, was from, well, multiple sources. With that said, let's go ahead and dive on in, shall we? There's nothing to do at Domestica still. I suppose we could take a quick look at the Tavern District. It has been mentioned that there might be a decent scout in the area. Regbold of the Hills, of a Landian no less, only 35 years of age, might be worth picking up. I do believe we have Daliger, or Daliger, of the Hills as well, a little bit on the older side. 101 over here versus 90. I mean, Regbold is a little bit younger, which would explain why his skills are a little bit, you know, rougher, rustier, if you will. But him being younger also means he's not going to die of old age anytime too soon, right? One would think, one would hope. So maybe we go ahead and pick up Regbold and get ourselves that scout we've been talking about for so long. Gulasen the Scholar would make for a good doctor, not that we need one right now. We do also have Hasid the Prince over here, I would imagine. Oh no, roguery is your strength. Okay, that's interesting. Fair enough, not what I would have expected. Yeah, I suppose we can go ahead and speak to Regbold of the Hills then, and have him join us as a scout. Again, scouts help improve our rate of movement. They do quite a bit, actually. And it's been quite some time that I've needed to get a scout. We've talked about a few options. Regbold is here. Regbold is now. And so Regbold is our new scout. Now, I just briefly actually made mention of death from old age specifically. But that does remind me of another... It's kind of awkward just walking in on this guy's like bedroom like this. But it does remind me of another thing I want to touch on. We'll touch on it after this conversation though. Regbold, let us speak. Your Highness, let me introduce myself. Oh, it's so cool, because... That's pretty cool, because I obviously own the land from where he hails, right? And so I'm still his Sultan all the same. My name is Partia, sir. Tell me about yourself. I don't mind telling. Up in the northwest, when we go to bed each night, we make sure we can find our spears in the dark, because you never know if that night's going to be the one that a Sturgian or a Battanian warband is going to pay a visit. We're proud men up there, and we expect the lords not to expect us to behave like some serf in a safe southern estate. My father was even a little prouder than most, I suppose. One day he was insulted by the lord's bailiff, and he upped and left. Moved us higher in the hills to be away from all other men. We burned away some of the forest and planted barley. My mother died of a fever, but me and my sister and my father, we lived up there 10 lean and lonely years, all so my father didn't have to doff his hat to any other man. Then he vanished in a blizzard. This is a strange story. There's not much to do with I mean, it's a lot more personal without telling me much about his skills, I suppose. All the other backstories have kind of like hinted at people's skills, but this, oh, did you find him? How good of a scout are you if you can't even find your dad and vanishing in a blizzard? I'm joking, obviously. A tragic tale. My condolences. When all was done, I'd have killed for an hour of another man's company, or a sip of wine, or a glimpse of a girl. For my sister and I, we came down to the valleys. We found a husband. I can get good work as a tracker. And that's all there is to it. If you have work for me, we could discuss it. This has been the strangest, like, backstory, introduction, whatever you want to call it, that we've had throughout this entire series. And it's been a long series. I do have work for you. I can use someone like you in my company. His story is inoffensive. I mean, pride is a dangerous thing, but, you know, it's okay to have degrees of it. At least ultimately, in the end, he decided the loner's life wasn't exactly for him. And I do also now understand where his title comes from, right? Of the Hills. I can use someone like you in my company. Great. Going to need some money in advance, though. 344 dinars. Can you pay? This man, I'm not the only one who thinks this, right? The interaction with this man has been completely different from all the other interactions. Not in a bad way, but it's just been different. Right, 344 dinars, here you are. Yes, Your Highness. Excellent. He's joined our party. Gonna get him some equipment so he doesn't drop dead at the first sign of trouble. And then we'll, hopefully, we have someone on hand who's got some great skills with regards to, yes, is Garathion there talking to the wall? But yeah, hopefully we've got somebody who has some great skills with regards to helping us, move around more quickly and just get more done faster and see the enemy more easily as well. I haven't seen a barmaid in so long. I would love to feed and water my men, if you catch my meaning. But alas, it seems that that won't be happening today. Very well. Now, as we leave and look for equipment for our newfound friend here, death, as I was kind of touching on earlier. Now, it's been brought up time and time again, and every time it gets brought up, I sort of note it down, so to speak. Not literally, but sort of in my mind, I kind of make note of it. It's been brought up time and time again that maybe, just maybe, ooh, hello, 10% more damage bonus in simulations against bandit parties, or 3% more damage bonus in all battle simulations. Troops in your formation gain 1% damage against any troop. Yeah, sure, let's go with coaching. It's also it's more fitting, I think, in character to go with coaching here. So coaching it shall be. But yeah, so it's been brought up a couple of times that maybe, just maybe, we should turn death off. Now, I still don't know how I feel about that. I quite like death because it raises the stakes, right? It is, it's a lot more, it's a lot more scary. It's a lot more tense. In any given session, in any given battle, you never really know what's going to go down. And when something does go down, I feel like it adds to the story. However, there have been some great arguments brought up against that fact. And I call them great because I in many ways, agree with them. To a degree, having all these deaths happen, especially back to back to back, takes away from the story. Just like a couple of deaths, a few poignant deaths from time to time can make for really powerful, impactful, and emotional moments. When people are dropping like flies every other session, you have the opposite impact where it's just like, yeah, another one bites the dust. Whatever. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? There's a reduction in the drama of death as it becomes more commonplace. So this has been suggested a couple times now that we should turn death off because it's becoming a bit too much. It's various reasons. And so obviously that's a big decision. And personally, I'm on the fence. I do still like death. I do still like how it makes my heart race every time we get into a battle. But at the same time, it does feel at least somewhat unreasonable from time to time, right? Because I'm on the fence, because I'm uncertain, as I often can be, I'm going to throw it out for a vote. So the pinned comment down below will have a link to a poll. Have your voice heard. At present, we're going to keep death on in today's session, and unless I get a supermajority, I will not be turning it off. A supermajority would be 66% of the vote. I feel like 50% is still too on the fence. This is a very big decision as far as the future of the playthrough is concerned and stuff like that. So I feel like a supermajority should be needed to kind of change what the norm is. Now, those of you that are wondering, well, hang on a second, party. We didn't start with death, and you turned it on without looking for a vote or a supermajority. You'll remember that we actually did start with death as far as the settings were. Just the game hadn't had it implemented yet. So, do with that information what you will. But in my mind, the game was always supposed to have permanent death turned on right from the beginning. Which is why I didn't throw it out for a vote back then. I was just like, oh yeah, this is what I was hoping for. Here we go. And my oh my, did I not get exactly what I was hoping for. It was, it's been an experience. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, it's a shame that we didn't do this, before Ottawa passed away or before my brothers and my sister passed away. Which, yeah, fair. But at the same time, those are those poignant, emotional deaths which add to the drama. Last session's intro would not have been what it was had it not been for Ottawa's passing, right? Valdim, our weapon of choice in many cases, wouldn't exist as he does in his current state if it weren't for Valdim's passing, right? So there are, you know, there's benefits to death. Anyway, I'm getting into ramble territory now, and I apologize for that. But I do just want to have your voice heard. Let me know what you think. You can leave a comment down below as well if you have, if you have strong feelings one way or another. I'm still on the fence. I don't know how democratically I'm going to approach this. The vote will obviously have a massive influence. But I think, yeah, if we hit a supermajority, I might just kind of flip it off, and then maybe at a later point we'll reconvene and decide what to do then. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough decision to make because death is such a major, storytelling element, I suppose is the best way to put it. So it's tough. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. All right, let's go ahead and get you some proper equipment now. I'm just dumping some stuff because that doesn't need a lot of concentration at all. Don't need to overdo his equipment. He looks very funny looking equipment, isn't it? Again, the helm, I have better helms available, but I'm trying to give him something that's a little bit lighter. So hopefully that won't, impact his mobility too much. I believe I do have some decent gloves as well that I could give him that aren't too heavy. Yeah. And again, the idea would be to keep him back in the middle of battle. He's decent with a crossbow, so he could actually be with our archers. He's decent with a crossbow and with a one-handed weapon, so maybe we'll stick him in with our ranged contingent, right? And we have some decent armor just laying around. Not the greatest, not the best, but not terrible either. There we go. Again, money's not really an issue, so I don't mind spending more, but the weight, I don't know how much of a difference it would make if he's just going to stand in the back line. And you know what? It's fun to experiment from time to time, so let's go ahead and experiment with the mix we've given him. No horse for him. Does that make sense if he's a scout per se? Well, let's go ahead and get him the equipment we know he can use first, and then we'll take a look at his riding skills afterwards. I guess I don't want him to be on horseback if he's going to be joining the ranged contingent, right? Is the light crossbow the only crossbow you have over here? Early. You have more. I guess not. Okay, fair enough. So the large bag of bolts, balanced bolts as well. Bent heavy crossbow. Let's go ahead and compare the bent heavy crossbow with a light crossbow. Looks like his heavy crossbow is a little bit on the slower side, but otherwise significantly better. More accurate, more damage dealing, just better all around. So, fair enough. Now, he can't use it while on horseback, so yeah, probably doesn't make sense to put him on horseback. And you know what? Let's go ahead and put away the balanced bolt, because I just realized we should give him sword and board should push come to shove and he needs to fight in melee. So let's go ahead and see if we have any decent... it's not too bad. Not that great either, though. Shields go up to like 500 nowadays. Yeah, it's like 500 HP. There we go. That's looking proper. And we do have some decent swords, right? We have our trusty... what is it? Iron Flissa, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Decent blade for a decent man. Should be good. Should be good. Wow, man, that is a lot of money. Fortunately, we can make it all back pretty easily. Go ahead and sell you some of these Merchant's Banes. 2 will do the trick, 60k. What can I sell you? A couple small things, some more armor over here that can be dropped off. Yeah, let's dump a bunch of this stuff off. Good stuff, good stuff. I don't think, I mean, maybe I could buy some food or something off of them if necessary. I don't really know if it is. I also don't know if I should. Well, you know what? We have all those animals that we're dragging around with us. We'll just slaughter more of them if necessary. All right. Again, money's not really an issue, but why be wasteful with it, right? Why be wasteful with it? Get some of you as well. All done. Yeah, you're useless to me. Done, done. Scale shoulders. Not terrible, which is probably why we're keeping them around, right? I'm sure we have, yeah, we do have more shields and stuff we can drop off over here. Some bows. More bows. Yeah, this is an expensive shopping run, isn't it? Fair enough. Gotta spend money to keep people alive. Damn, it's really too bad that we can't sell. Whatever, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Maybe I have a couple of, yeah, we can go ahead and drop off some of these harnesses. We're not going to be using 30, step harnesses anytime soon. Keep that. Yeah, sure. Decaying pitchfork. That's an interesting way to describe a pitchfork. Alright, cool. All done. There were some of these. Yeah, sure. Charred hose, yeah. Done, all done. Let's do it. We have ourselves a scout. Let's go ahead and make sure that he is indeed properly equipped. Just want to double check. Where'd he go? Regbald of the Hills. Yeah, one-handed is better. He has some room to train his polearm skill, but I don't want him to die training. I want, you know what I mean? Crossbow is definitely his best strength over here. Yeah, he's not that good at riding, so fair enough. I guess he's a scout on foot. Very well. Again, I do want to kind of discuss this a little bit more. He gives us bonus movement speed during the day, increased sight range during the day as well. Bonus movement speed in the steppes and plains. All right, that's pretty good. Bonus movement speed in the deserts and dunes. That's not bad either. Forced march, bonus speed when party morale is higher than 75, which is basically always. All right, cool. This is fantastic. Fantastic. Finally, we move. Let us leave Domestica. I believe we've done everything we need to do over here. Like I said earlier, like I touched on earlier, we will be separating our Deal the Golden especially, and Parabard the Brave as well. We'll be separating them from us in the near future. I just want to try and maybe get into a bit more of a safe place. Now, I guess Domestica is a relatively safe spot, but I don't know, man. It just makes me nervous that they're gonna get picked off by some random group here or there. And not just that, but if I do let them go, I want to let them go with at least some soldiers, like maybe 25 to 50 apiece, which drops our strength as well. And I really want to see what the situation is at Vostrom and Morenia Castle before I do that. So there's a couple of reasons why I'm still holding on to them. And again, holding on to hope as well that Erinix will indeed take care of Phykeon. Let's make our way over to Erebelos first. Pick up some recruits over there. Again, just as a reminder, the reason why I'm not checking every town for recruits personally is because the people who are riding with me are probably picking everybody up. So as we... Laska has been born to Idrin and Sane. That's another reason that's been put forth for turning death off, by the way, is that too many people are too old before birth got activated. Marriages and births got activated. And so now we might actually see the noble class just entirely die out. And what happens to the game at that point? That's another major point that has been brought up. So yeah, just something to consider too while getting your votes in. Yeah, you'll see everybody else picks up recruits, so again, I don't have any options. I saw a couple of you mention that, like, hey, you should be picking up recruits. Well, that's why I'm not doing it personally, but I am letting the rest of my army do it. Erinix still marches up there, good stuff. We're making our way to Lavenia and then Vostrom. Yeah, that seems to make sense to me, because I do believe we're able to get down over here. So, let's move. Ooh. Log updated. Caravan is moving on to Sanala from Kuyaz. Again, there was a suggestion to just, like, drop our current war and go chasing after this. I'll be honest, we're probably not going to make it in time. That's actually B. A is, I feel like we have way too much momentum in this war to just let it go right now. The Khuzait, though they might still have a lot of, armies, and they might be making some moves here and there, remember, their armies are pathetic right now. They have, large... Watch, we're going to lose a battle this session to one of those pathetic armies. But in all seriousness, they have... that was interesting. They have recruits, largely. That's why we're seeing so much success, and I want to retain that momentum. I want to make sure we don't let them pull back and train their soldiers, and then we're just, back to square one, basically. So Alahab Jadid gained 5 skill points in athletics and is now 10. Alahab Jadid also gained 5 skill points in medicine and is now 9. All right, very well. Jose's reached the age of 11 and he needs your guidance. Okay, what's going on here? Whoa, hello. All right, I knew they implemented this, but we haven't had a chance to experience it yet. So this is great. This is fun. You are usually away from your estate, but when you are able to spend time with Alahab Jadid, you encouraged him to develop. Oh dear. Oh, that's tough. Oh dear, this is tough. His strength, his endurance, a thirst for knowledge, a sharp mind, a good eye, and a steady hand, an interest in people. An interest in people might not be a terrible idea. This charming young fella. Let's see, his strength, yo, don't know how I feel about that. His endurance, all right, definitely a troublemaker. A thirst for knowledge, all right, good stuff, good stuff. A sharp mind, I like it, I like it. Intelligence versus cunning, okay, interesting. A good eye and a steady hand. All right, or an interest in people. I like an interest in people because, okay, it ups his social, but I'm thinking like, you know, leadership. If he is to be Sultan, he needs to be not just able to charm people, but also, you know, just lead people in general. It seems like he is growing up to be quite the fighter as well. I mean, low stats right now, obviously, but he's getting there, he's getting there. Yeah, I feel like improving his social is the most appropriate thing. I see it as sort of like tutoring my heir in like how to rule the realm after, you know, after I'm gone and when it's his time. All this talk of death and now this happens. Rather sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna say an interest in people. It's the most fitting, I think. Trade is like a nice extra, it ties into our merchant background, but leadership and charm, yeah, an interest in people. One day your child asks you which of your skills was most useful to you. You thought for a while and answered, which of my skills was most useful to me? Has it been my tactical prowess? Even the finest swordsman can perish if his lord is ignorant of the difference between necessary risks and reckless, unnecessary ones. Has it been my leadership? Learn to fire men's pride, stoke their anger, and dispel their fears. They will turn from men into lions who will do anything for you. That sounds like me. When I say me, I mean Partia, obviously. I mean, again, my polearm skill has been quite useful when we used to use our lance to lance our enemies. Tactics has been useful more and more lately, but not in a game sense, but in a, you know, real sense. We've been using our tactical approaches. Stewardship has been helpful as well. Armies win battles, but farms and towns win wars. I like that line a lot. Oh, God, this is such a difficult decision, man. Towers, domes, and gates are wonders that we must never take for granted. Engineering has not been that helpful for me. Trade. Whoever grasps how prices work can pluck silver out of thin air. I do quite like that. And had he come of this age when we were earlier in our, you know, sultanship, kingship, whatever the word would be, then perhaps it would have been trade. But I think of late, leadership has been what has given us our success. This is really, it's quite something, isn't it? Because we were talking about how Partia as a character has developed and how he has shifted. And to literally be passing knowledge on to his son as a reflection of that change, to me, is quite interesting. I think leadership it shall be. Now, again, I don't know if leadership is great from an in-game mechanical perspective, but we don't min-max. We try to role-play, and that's what I'm trying to do over here. So leadership it is. While spending time with your child, you notice that he shows real ability in medicine. Accidents are inevitable, and your child isn't bothered by the sight of blood. He acts quickly to staunch bleeding and prevent infections. Oh, good for you, buddy. All right. Okay. Fair enough. Stage complete. Social increases by 1, leadership gains 1 focus point and 5 skill points, and medicine gains 1 focus point and 5 skill points. Alright, intelligence and social looking like his maybe primary things. He does have some decent weapon skills as well in melee. Decent with a bow as well. For a child, obviously, for a child. Okay, okay. Very well. Very well. Man, that's really something, isn't it? Now, what's weird, what's strange, actually, is, this is unfortunate. Can I not search myself yet? See, Alahab Jadid just got a little bit of special attention, but my actual heir, Aftab, has not received any such attention. I think it's because, yeah, I guess Alahab Jadid just turned 10, and I guess 10 is when it happens for the first time, and we missed that with Aftab, and that's really quite unfortunate. But it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do about it, right? I know I refer to Alahab Jadid as my heir, and, you know, he still is, but my actual heir, politically speaking, is Aftab. Anyway, sorry. I just felt like I needed to clarify that in case there was a misunderstanding or anything like that. Go ahead and close that. Down to Lavinia. Let's rush. Yeah, okay, we are able to get down over here. Okay, good. The hill continues to improve his stewardship. Excellent. Wahan of the Javal. I'm pretty sure that, I'm pretty sure the Javal are no longer... Yes. It's been pointed out to me that one of the recent patches has fixed the mercenary band thing where you can speak to other members of the band to convince them to join you. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't apply to older saves, and so we don't... we're not going to be able to do that. Oh, Aronix has almost arrived over here, eh? Everyone's picked up the recruits. Okay, good stuff. Of course, it pulls me away just as things are about to go down over here. He's not given up the chase. I imagine he would have seen the army on his ride up, so he must still have strong enough numbers to scare them off, if not take them out. Alright, we continue over to Vostrom. Not let ourselves get too distracted. What was that? Oh no. Garius of the Western Empire declares war on the Ishkas. Are you kidding me right now, man? Seriously? Fighting a war literally on two fronts. Oh dear, this isn't good. Legeta, Rote, Amitatis, Zeonica. Onica Castle down over here. Ah. Why? Why? You know what? We'll let it be for now. Honestly, a war with the Western Empire is what we kind of wanted next. When I say next, I mean after our war with the Khazate. If we're lucky, some of these armies will tackle the Western Empire. Oh dear, and I won't have to do everything myself. Anaira is also under siege now. I do wonder if... Oh, okay. Vostrom, what's your garrison looking like? Push is starting to very much come to shove over here. Vostrom has a garrison of... Ooh, hello. Xeno over there. 306? Okay. Time to let some people go over here. Ooh. Oldhan, likely to form an army. Hekard, also likely to form an army. And Abalitos. You know what? Alatild as well. All, I think, likely to form armies. Go and send them out. I would say we have enough strength over here, and they have enough options over here in terms of free armies to, or free parties to form a new army and hopefully get to work defending Anaira or protecting against the Western Empire's aggression. I feel like if the Western Empire gets to starts to make some moves and starts to make some progress, I feel like at that point I might actually just pay the tribute and let them have peace, despite the desires of my council. Again, I try to go with what the council wants, right? With support of their, you know, like what they would prefer, peace or war, and other things as well. But this might be a case where we have to go against their will here. Because with the Khazate, or rather against the Khazate, we have plenty of momentum that I don't want to lose. The Western Empire, they might be coming at us with, you know, trained soldiers and whatnot, so they'll actually need some proper attention. Oh, I don't know. This is not the spot I wanted to be in. Audhan, these guys are going up to fight Kaon. Interesting call. Aronix, oh, hello. Okay, so this siege has been pushed back, and Aftab has gained... Oh, nice. At 14, I guess you gain even more skill. So Aftab has gained skill in polearm and medicine. Very well. Oh, yeah, good. And Zeno has been engaged as... Oh, he hasn't. He's fighting some looters. Fair enough. I was hoping that these guys would chase him down and then we'd have one less army out there to potentially worry about. But Aftab requires my attention here. I need to improve his leadership as well. If I can. At his 14th birthday, you gave Aftab a special present. You've seen him treasure it and believe it will shape who he is. You gave him a well-balanced sword. Okay. Magnificent steed. You like that. A treatise on siegecraft. Okay, interesting. Finely carved game board. That helps with his tactics. Okay. A well-tempered bow. Or a trip to your realm's court. Oh, that easily makes the most sense. It's unfortunate that it doesn't help with leadership directly. It does help with charm. And it does give social a bump, but I think a trip to my realm's court makes the most sense. Again, he is, once more, to reiterate, he is the heir. He is the one who will take charge in my passing. Al-Hajjadid takes charge, you know, oh god, I don't even want to think about Aftab dying before he becomes Sultan. But, yeah, I think a trip to my court makes most sense. Every well-born youth wants to see the center of it all. Where the lords and ladies gather in splendor to converse and connive, you invited the child to see the spectacle firsthand and provided the elegant clothes he'd need to be part of it. Improves his charm, want to make sure he's able to actually, not have his back stabbed by his vassals. So yes, a trip to my realm's court. In adolescence, he began to take on serious responsibilities and compete with adults as a near equal. He managed to defeat his fencing instructor, win a race, craft a weapon, learn the arts of healing, become a crack shot, or trade like a veteran merchant. That pose. I don't quite know. I defeat his fencing instructor seems the most, I guess inspired by his parents. Yeah, you know what? Again, this is that same conversation of like, had it been at a different time, trade like a veteran merchant would have been the obvious choice, but defeat his fencing instructor. Let's go with that. After many tries, he successfully beat his tutor, fair and square, during sparring. Sure. Man, this is tough. Outside events also intruded on Aftab's adolescence. You believe he was particularly shaped by an outbreak of plague. This event increased his skills in medicine and stewardship. Okay, first of all, real funny. Second of all, that's not bad actually, stewardship especially. A great illness swept through your lands. Your child applied what he had read in books on nursing fevers and isolating the sick to minimize deaths on your estate. Cool. I mean, hey, yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Cool. Now, if either of my heirs becomes my primary heir, I feel at least like I've had something to do with both of their growths. Of course, there is still Fatima, but Fatima's a long way to go before she starts going through these experiences, I think. You guys are all going up to 5k now. Up over here, oh, it looks like they're actually battling it seems. If they've engaged in battle, that must mean that Aranix feels confident in his ability to win over here. Oh, unless he got attacked. I don't know, because they gave up the siege, so... well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Pushing to Vostrom still. Go ahead and besiege the town. Who here is willing to join us now? Come on. We have some upgrades, perhaps. Yeah, one upgrade. Khan. One of you. Some more master archers, crossbows. More Imperial infantrymen. Good stuff. I'll take it. Besiege the town. Make a battering ram. Sorry, what am I doing here? Start with our trebs. Then make the battering ram, and then come the siege towers, in a worst case scenario. Alright. Good stuff. Quest fail, that's fine. Some of the Khuzait are escaping, that's less fine. Aranix's army, okay, good. At least I can see it. Oh, the Han's forming an army as well. Okay, that's working out basically exactly as I'd hoped. 80, 83, 92, 96. I'm not sure who's winning that battle. It's going on for a long time. Ooh, what is this? Oh, nice! I guess Aranix must have won that battle then. Engaging mountain bandits. Don't do that! There's a... Okay, do what you want. He's done well for us so far. So, Ulman, Nyantai, Helea, Debana, Tulag, and Honoratus of the Khuzait have been taken prisoner. That's a lot of prisoners. That's a lot of soldiers taken off the field, at least temporarily. Of the Han's army here going to a point. Will they do the same thing at Oneira? Can I not see Oneira from here? Lavenia, Oneira would be... That's Dynastica. Oneira is like behind those mountains, isn't it? Really unfortunate. Alright, okay. If we're lucky... If we're lucky, traveling to Gauss. Alright. Going to a point. If we lose Oneira, we can take it back, obviously. Taking Vostrom helps because it just seals up some of the gaps in our lands as well. How are we doing over here? It's like paying attention to far-off lands and stop paying attention to what's going on over here, but just noticed just in time, which works out, I suppose. We're going to a point there. The Battanians have declared war on us as well now. What is going on? What the hell? What is this nonsense? We're at war with everybody? Oh dear. Okay. Well, this is taking a turn for the much, much, much worse. And none of our vassals want peace in any direction, which is, I would say, questionable at best. A lot of riders here willing to join. Alright, this is troubling. I'm a little uncertain as to how we proceed from here. I was worried that was another war being declared on me. Okay, moving on. One is done. We have to move very quickly here. Again, it's not that much of a garrison, so as soon as the walls break, we strike. Going to a point, defending Oneira. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's working out as intended. Province Aldanis. He's probably going to have to recruit some more troops at this point. Okay. This is not how I expected today to go. And yet here we are. Reserves. Engaging Mihir's party. Okay. A very small army, isn't it? Taking some losses there. Brotherhood of the Woods has been contracted to fight alongside the Western Empire. That's not very helpful for me. Come on, buddy. Aldahan, you dove into that battle. I expect you're going to win it. Taking some serious losses there. Taking some very serious losses. Sestadame Castle just got taken. Unkido the Aserai chose not to go to war with the Northern Empire with the support of his council. Oh, interesting. Don't think I've ever seen a negative message in that way. Move you to reserves. These guys fire over here. Oh, nice. I think Aldahan won. Yes. Beautiful. Uric, Brannock, Roosevelt, Mihir, and Radagast have all been taken prisoner. Man. Again, just like the sheer momentum we have here. I hate that we lost Sestadame Castle. That's so annoying. At least it wasn't to the Khazate, but, you know, it's not ours anymore, and that's extremely frustrating. Why do they randomly declare war on us? It's not like we're particularly weak right now or anything. Well, okay, at least Oneira and Phykeon have been defended. I'm not sure what comes next. Well, this comes next, I suppose. Taking Vostrom. 306 defenders shouldn't be that problematic. I really do hope that our... Wait, why can I not see... damage done to the walls here? What? Oh, weird. I thought I'd zoomed in near enough. I'm having one of those days, I guess. I'm not gonna lie. I'm stressed out about these wars. I am stressed out about these wars. Things are going so smoothly, and obviously we had to hit every bump in the road. I'm surprised everybody else hasn't declared war on us as well. See, what's weird is that, like, we've been doing well. It's not like there's an opportunity here, you know? Not like there's an opportunity here. Aldahan is headed towards Sestadame Castle. Erinix is going to Halisvust. Sure. Someone is striking at Sestadame. Emun has escaped from my party. Very well, very well. These walls are taking a good bit of damage here. Doing alright. Okay, okay. Where's Aldahan? Still headed over. Erinix. Still headed the same direction. Really hoping someone would help me with... Oh, you know what? I'm not complaining. They've helped me tremendously. Both of those armies did exactly what I needed them to do. They did exactly what I needed them to do. Monshug is out fighting tournaments, really. This guy. That's how dissociated he is from this war, I suppose. Tithea escaped from captivity. Okay. Najin continues to improve his engineering. One wall broken. One more to go. Shouldn't take too long. Oh, come on. One more set. There it is. Ah, that catapult. Justin of the Battanians has been taken prisoner by Ira of the Ishkas. Okay, good stuff. Aldahan is getting that siege going. Where is Erinix? Oh, don't tell me. Ah. Fair enough. Their army has disbanded. That's not the end of the world. If we're lucky, a new army will form up and they'll get right back to work. Meanwhile, we are going to get to work over here as well. Walls have been broken. I'm going to go ahead and destroy that catapult. Settlement. Chorus is under attack. Not the castle, just the village or town, or what have you. Village, I should say. Okay, cool. Take a look at our party over here. Pick up some of our... Well, upgrade you first. Get some more of these prisoners, not the rioters, obviously. Though sometimes I do wonder if it isn't worth it anyway. Just to have a few more highly, like, armored soldiers. I think we had at least one battle where I was like, you know what? They actually did quite well. But, I think we'll be fine without them. We outnumber these guys severely, right? Vostrum, you will be ours. Gotta make sure I'm properly equipped. Yeah, let's do it. Lead the assault. Alright, we have to move quickly here. Maybe it is Vostrum, Morenia Castle, and then peace. It all depends on how well our vassals tackle the current situation and war in multiple directions. What are the chances that we mentioned the Battanians in the introduction, and now here we are, they've become a very non-hypothetical threat. God. I jinxed it. I must have just jinxed it all. We'll see how this plays out. Alright, get rid of all of you. Oh. Can't zoom out by nearly enough. Can't remember now if I auto... Okay, let's just get auto-deploy going again. And again, I might need to give a charge command. I know the last time I mentioned I might need to give a charge command. I didn't end up needing to do it. But we'll keep our eyes peeled on that potential necessity. We're going to ride down and maybe dive in where... Oh, man, not being able to zoom out. I can't really tell the layout well enough. We'll make the decision on the fly. Let's begin. Here goes nothing. Alright, let's go to the left. Axe out. I don't think everyone's charging. Oh, come on now. In we go. Beautiful. Gotta get off. We do have a couple of archers up there, which is problematic. Don't know if I'll be able to tuck in here. Here we go. Come on now. Good stuff. I guess they're not able to fire at me as easily because I'm like... It'd be like a risk of friendly fire, I suppose. Whatever it is, I am taking it. Ooh. This guy with his pitchfork over here trying to get some work done. Good on you. I could use you in my army. Everyone is welcome to fight for the Sultan. Alright, we're doing alright. Took a bit of damage early on. Got a little worried there, but we're doing okay now. Not sure who has died, if anyone. Obviously, all this talk of like this potentially being our last session with death enabled means we're going to see some important characters fall. Alright. Made it through. Come on, men. Push, push, push. Give them no quarter. Oh, there we go. Guys are all standing steady over here. I'm gonna have to provide some assistance. In we go. Oh, come on now. There we go. Excellent. Coming over here. I got dropped, literally. Doing okay. Doing okay. Alright, good stuff. I think they're starting to retreat. Ah. I was misled. Here we go. We're okay. We're okay. Victory is assured at this point. Let that man run free. Okay. Taking the towers now. Taking the walls. Well done, men. There isn't much left. What is left will probably start to retreat soon enough. My tactics is at 102. I actually don't recall it passing 100. Najin improved his medicine skill as well. Okay, well, that's one way to see that he's still alive. God, my heart. Yeah, I think we've cleared out the towers, actually. Otherwise, I wouldn't be going back down. Yeah. Time to go through the city streets and just clean up what's left. We ultimately did give our... I think our archers got a charge command. Don't know how much of a difference that made, but they were standing... Yeah, so you can see those guys are still standing back there. Maybe I should just give it a charge command to all right at the beginning. Nonetheless, victory is ours, and that would... Okay, I was gonna say that's what matters most, but then I was like, well, actually, first, let's see the actual end result over here. Only 28 lost, not too bad, 35 wounded. Many have leveled up as well. I feel like we did quite well there. again, right, like a couple of fresh recruits and stuff, so our deaths, well, there will be some, right? There will be some. Alright. Ooh, who else leveled up over here? Good stuff, Bannerlord, and of course myself. Good stuff. Good stuff. Question is, will it be secure? How much of a garrison will we have to leave behind? Or is it safely tucked away enough that we won't have to leave anything behind? That's the other aspect. That's the other reason for taking Morenia Castle and for taking Vostrum here, is that these are lands that might be, once secured, they might be relatively safe from foreign aggression. Go ahead and upgrade everybody over here. Very good stuff, very good stuff. More prisoners willing to join us as well. You all in here. This will help us, again, bring more prisoners with us as well. Self-fulfilling prophecy, if you will. Okay, good stuff. We have room for so many more. We have room for another 100 soldiers ourselves as well. And about 30 or so, just under 30 prisoners we can pick up. There's a horse Imperial Legionaries, definitely. Let's go ahead and get some of the heavy horse archers. Master Archer, they're decent, I would say. There's a horse archer, sure. Not the best pick here. Not surprised, I suppose. Let's get these two as well. They've served us quite well. Sure. Again, pick everybody. We're going into a city. We're going into Vostrum. It's a city. I'll be able to speak to the ransom broker and what have you. Completely slipped my mind. All good. Relations decreased with Urkonate. Fair enough. So be it. Over to the Tavern District. Recruit these armed traders and ransom some prisoners. Go ahead and leave behind. Again, we're not going to store them away or anything. They're not worth it, I don't think. Yeah, they're all pretty... I mean, the Imperial Crossbowmen and the Kazay Archers, sure, but I can't see myself coming back to pick these guys up. Militia... How many more? Yeah, sure. Again, I don't want to be topped up. We can move a little bit faster. The Slewer stays with me. Yep. 900 dinars is not too bad. Sure, I'll take it. Yeah, sure, whatever. We're good. All done there. Back to town center. We'll go ahead and manage the garrison a bit over here. Good stuff. At least they left some soldiers behind. Wouldn't mind leaving behind these Imperial armed traders. Some Sturgian soldiers and brigands. Militia here. Imperial infantrymen. Some more militia. Just a little something to dissuade any potential attackers, right? Just a little something. Alright, cool. 23. Not much of a garrison, but... I want to see also managed town. Militia is growing. Okay, at a decent rate. That's not too bad. Train militia. Not much faster. But it is what it is. We'll take what we can get here. Hopefully, no one's going to get too aggressive. There's so much other stuff to go through to get to Vostrum. Vostrum should be safe. We can leave. Yes, we could trade over here if there's anything worth trading. That war horses, that would be a different matter. Plenty of grain. Might not be a terrible idea. These guys are well fed. They were never starving, so not bad. Anything worth selling over here? Raw silk. Wool? Sure. I'll dump some wool over here. There. Good enough silver ore we're carrying around. Hardwood, I want to carry on clay. Let's dump some of that. Sure. Why not? Done and done. I was wondering if I'd improve my trade skill. Nope. Alright, we leave Vostrum. We go up to Morenia Castle. Hopefully they don't have a massive garrison up over here. That would be hilarious. Up our cohesion a little bit. By which I mean as close to maximum as possible. A lot of raiding going on over here. The Han's still headed towards Sestadame. This really is something, isn't it? This really is something, isn't it? No support for any peace in any direction. Very well. Where are we headed? To Go Chorus first, and we'll take the bridge across to Morenia Castle. That way we can pick up some recruits. Are you kidding me? Wow. At least he was old. At least he was old. Anthony of De Aramank has passed away. An emir of the Ashkas, he died of natural causes in 1104 at the age of 65. He was reputed to be brave but headstrong. He served us well. I can't... Just like that. Just like that. Again, take that into consideration when you get your vote in. It took nothing. Time did the work there. Let's speak to the De Aramank party over here and see if... No. We're disbanding. While going to Dynistica, then we're going our separate ways. Well, at least that'll be... usually that means they're going to garrison there. So, at least that's a better garrison at Dynistica. So, go on then. Too bad. I guess they have to be from our clan for us to be able to sort of pull them into our own army. Anujan has escaped from Hassan Falk. Fair enough. What is this now? Owner of Vostrom needs to be determined. Okay. Isvan, I suppose, is the... Actually. Well, this is tough. Well, this is tough. You have 2 castles and a settlement. You have... Is Oxhall a castle? Or a settlement? Town. Yeah, Oxhall is a town. So you... Okay, so Lek actually has 3 towns. I should say the Vegaroving have 3 towns, so that's... Let's not give it to Lek. Isvan over here. These guys have 2 castles in a town. So 2 castles in a town versus... 2 castles in a town. You know what? I say we give this to Ormidoving. The insult from Amalgan many years ago. Deep down in the back of our minds probably still has some slight impact, right? The council had equal support for everybody all the same. They themselves put their own names forth all the same. We'll give this to Isvan. We'll give this one to Isvan, huh? Cool. Gotta use the pun as the excuse for decision making, always. How a true sultan leads. All done there. Continue onwards. Pick up some recruits over here. Over to Morenia Castle. Ooh. Galatild created an army. Excellent. 274 defenders. That's not a problem. Where is Sestadame Castle? Still going in to besiege it, despite being right up next to it. That's good. Tells me that they have the numbers. Hopefully they have the skills. Patir married Helea. Fair enough. I was like, oh, I didn't marry anybody. Always read that name wrong. Western Empire is getting adventurous, but nothing major just yet. Nothing major just yet. Sestadame Castle is under siege. Galatild's army is all the way down over here. Okay, fair enough. Oh, of Castle is under siege. Obviously, we don't get the warning for it because it's not, Of course. We're not going to be able to get there in time. I suspect the Battanians have put it under siege. That would make the most sense. Man, this is... Lanaken Castle is also under siege. Well, there's the Battanian army. We could make peace with the Battanians. They are the threat at this point. If I make peace with them, Aldhan will continue with his siege at Sestadame Castle. It seems as though Galatild is planning to move against the Khuzait, based on where she's kind of gathered the soldiers. We're down here. If we take Morenia Castle... Oh, man. This is legitimately a tough call over here. I feel like of the people we're at war with right now, the Western Empire will be the quickest to eliminate. To a degree, I feel as though we can take on the Western Empire and the Khuzait at the same time. I do not think we can take on the Battanians and anyone else. I think that if we go to war with the Battanians, it has to be a concentrated effort, because they are massive. Our borders are spread out. Like, see, against the Khuzait, our borders are pretty small. Yeah, they're a big, well, not as big as they used to be. They're a big threat, but our shared lands, our shared borders are small. Whereas with the Battanians, basically, we basically share every border you possibly could, right? The Western Empire, similar, but significantly smaller, obviously. So I'm thinking we make peace with the Battanians. Let's see. The hefty tribute. It's a hefty tribute. It doesn't bother me. The money is really not a part of the problem here. We make peace with the Battanians. We continue our war with the Khuzait and the Western Empire. Potentially making peace with the Western Empire if it becomes too much to handle, but again, I don't think it will. But potentially, right? And when either we get enough support, you know, I'm going to be honest. I feel like this is the war where we eliminate the Khuzait. They are extremely weakened right now. It's a lot of castles, so many castles. Still a lot of holdings. Well, the castles not showing up until you zoom in is very misleading. Still a lot of holdings. But again, right, they're so weak right now and untrained. Lots to think about. Folks, I'm thinking peace with the Battanians, though. Peace with the Battanians, war with the Western Empire, and the Khuzait continues. But y'all let me know what you think. As we cross this bridge and brace ourselves for next time. This is where we're going to call it a session, folks. It was a very strange one, I'll be honest. A lot of unexpected events, even just like tutoring my children, my heirs, as it were. And well, let's actually take a quick look over here at... that's not what I meant. A quick look over here at Fatima. Oh, really? Your name's just not going to... Where are you? Fatima, how old are you? 8. So in 2 years, actually, she'll be going through the same thing as Alahab Jadid, so not that far away. They're all coming of age, aren't they? Wild. Well, folks, letting myself get distracted by my heirs over here. You, let me know what you think about the session. You let me know what you think about what comes next. Don't forget to vote in the poll again, but yeah, leave a comment as well with regards to the whole death conversation, but also with regards to our current situation. At present, I'm thinking peace with the Battanians, continue our so far successful war against the Khuzait, and to try to hold fast against the Western Empire as well, in the hopes that our vassals continue to perform as well as they have done today and in recent sessions, making gains, defending our lands, and just all around being successful at it. Folks, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, I bid you farewell.